Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here with our leader in the city of New York. I always say that during this time of the pandemic, no doubt that the city has been so lucky to have a person that's been working 24/7 to be sure that New Yorkers have all the support that they needed. And also very clear that COVID could kill anyone, but that most people who died, they were Black, Latino, and Asian. And yes, not because of the color of the skin, but yeah, because of the social class. Most of those people who died, they were the poorest one. They have other pre-health conditions, asthma, obesity. They were not making enough to eat healthy food, respiratory issue. And in the next couple of months that we have as a mayor, and I hope that he will have a great future when he will keep doing it, we are progressive for life. So some people call progressive at the moment, but we were progressive in the 80s. We were progressive in the 90s when it was not popular to be called progressive. So when it comes to looking at transportation, that's one area that is very important to look also from the perspective of social class. We have underserved community that this administration, the leadership of the MTA and DOT inherit a city that those New Yorkers who live in underserved community, for decades, no one will pay attention to be sure that the buses were running on time, that it was safe. And still today, we have a lot of transportation desert area. But I have no doubt that with the plan that we have in place, that the mayor is leading together with his team at DOT, the great hand DOT commissioner, MTA and others, we will continue increasing more bus lane in New York City. And we know that he's been doing the best he can. And we know that we will continue working together to increase the bus lane that we have in the city of New York, to continue installing more bus service and SBS selectable services, to continue also working with the bus rapid transit. And I know that the future administration also will continue building under what the mayor is working the last couple of years. So for me, it's a great honor to have the mayor here in Washington Heights today, someone that's been taking care of a lot of needs that people have in Washington Heights, as he has done in the whole city of New York. Para mí es un honor estar con el alcalde hoy, un líder en la ciudad, un líder que en la época de la pandemia ha demostrado cómo él tiene su corazón, cómo él ha puesto el dinero en las áreas que son necesarias, y qué más importante que los autobuses. Los autobuses en esta área mueven a cientos de miles de personas, personas que van del Bronx a esta área, personas que muchas veces tienen que esperar mucho tiempo por una guagua. This is the lowest bus speed that we have in Manhattan. Up to now, the buses are running 4 miles per hour. And therefore, with the bus lane that we have right now, the speed limit will increase. It will help the working class, and that has been happening because, again, the leadership of the mayor, the DOT commissioner, and working together with the MTA. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Adonis Rodriguez has been speaking up for this community for years and years, fighting for equity. And this is what equity looks like: to have quality mass transit, to have it be something that actually works for people. Buses that move. Working people need to get around. They need a way to live their lives better. We're devoted to the working people of Washington Heights and this whole larger community, because now tens of thousands of people will get where they're going a lot faster. And we're not just doing this in one part of New York City. We're going all over New York City to bring equity to make sure that buses work better for all New Yorkers. So this is a big deal. The council member's right, and he has spoken up time and again and said what's happening in his community. The buses are too slow. We need change. We need something dramatic. We need something bold. Busways are that change. And we inaugurate this busway knowing it will improve the quality of life of so many people in Washington Heights. Now, everybody, 181st Street, legendarily congested, legendarily slow buses. We're changing all that today. We're making the buses move. We're going to make sure that people who for years and years said we need something better see today that their voices were heard. We're bringing this community, and yes, a community that's been hard hit by the pandemic. We're bringing hope that things really can change, and you're going to see it with your very eyes today. A few words in Spanish. La gente merece un transporte público que sea confiable y rápido. Mejorar nuestro transporte público también nos ayudará a combatir el cambio climático. Esta vía de autobús ayudará a las personas a pasar menos tiempo viajando y más tiempo viviendo sus vidas. This busway will let New Yorkers spend less time traveling, more time living their lives, and that's what it's all about. And someone who does so much to help us get around and make the city work better, our Transportation Commissioner, Hank Gutman.
Mask and glasses. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for all you do to make transportation better and more accessible for all New Yorkers. And I want to particularly thank Chair Rodriguez, our host today. For those of you who don't know, the chair and I have been conducting a 5-borough transportation tour of the city. This is our third stop. Mr. Chair, I will be scouting some locations in Queens later today. We're gonna, and Staten Island too. But I value our partnership with you and your colleagues in the council. We couldn't do what we do without your partnership. As we pursue the mayor's agenda to create more and better alternatives to reliance on the private car, particularly by focusing on mass transit and making sure that we address the needs of underserved communities and transportation deserts. It's a treat today to be able to focus on the importance of buses in getting that done. Just to provide one example, here on 181st Street, 66,000 people, New Yorkers, ride those buses on an ordinary day, and the speeds of those trips will be increased by at least 30%. That's a lot of time for a lot of people. That's a major impact, and we have a lot more that we plan to do. So stay tuned for future announcements and future developments. Now, I would like to thank some of the people who make that possible, without whom it wouldn't happen. First, our partners at the MTA. We have some control over the streets. They control the buses. None of this could happen if the two agencies didn't work seamlessly together as absolute partners. We have been, we will continue to, and I can't say enough to thank and express appreciation for the work of our MTA partners, and you'll be hearing soon from the president of buses, Craig Cipriano, sorry.
That's another family.
I'm thinking restaurant, sorry. And then, of course, I want to thank our DOT team, without whom none of the things we do could be possible, led by our Deputy Commissioner, Eric Beaton, and in particular, Janet Jenkins and Nolan Levinson, whose project this is. They've been here. If they look familiar in the neighborhood, there's a reason. And I want to thank them. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for setting our agenda. Thank you for keeping our feet to the fire and making sure that we pursue it with all speed. I left out deliberate, all speed. since this is a day about increasing speed. That's the name of the game. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hank. Okay, everyone, there's a good news story. News flash, good news story. The relationship between the MTA bus division and the city of New York has been a really positive, successful story. Let's be clear, and I want to say thanks to everyone at the MTA because we've all worked together to make it work. Buses really matter. Sometimes subways get a little more of the attention. But for millions of New Yorkers, buses are part of their lives every day. We've got to get it right in this city. It's more and more mass transit. Help people get out of the cars. We only do that with putting more and more investment into buses and make them go faster. So this partnership is working, and I want to thank Craig and everyone at MTA Bus. We're showing we can get some great stuff done together. Pleasure to introduce the president of MTA Bus, Craig Cipriano.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm excited to be here alongside Mayor de Blasio, Chairman Rodriguez, Ben Furness, and of course, my partner in delivering effective bus service to bus customers throughout New York City, Chairman Gutman. As had been said, we're here to celebrate another great milestone for New York City bus customers as we continue to support the city's recovery from this unprecedented crisis. The launch of the 181st Street Truck and Transit Priority Route, or as I like to say it, the busway. With this latest edition of Busways, will ultimately benefit over 340,000 daily bus customers across 29 routes. And as Commissioner Gutman already said, tens of thousands of bus customers have already seen their commutes get better by about 30%. Bus speeds have been seen to increase preliminarily about 30% right here on 181st Street, and we're excited about that. Just this month, we had the highest single-day ridership on the bus system since we began collecting fares again. Over 1.2 million customers, about 60% of pre-pandemic ridership, used our bus system this month. And we're excited for more bus customers to come back and see just how hard we're working on improving their system. And it's not just about bus lanes and busways. We continue to work with our partners in New York City to expand on transit signal priority, to get more cameras on the street and on board our buses. And we'll continue to manage service and adjust our schedules as we see traffic needs. So let me close by saying thank you, Mayor de Blasio. Thank you, Commissioner Gutman. It really has truly been a partnership that we continue to want to build upon. There's no debating that a high-performing transit system is the key to New York's recovery as we look forward to welcoming back more customers. And let me leave you with this thought. If you're not a bus, stay out of our bus lane. Thank you very much.
That means you all non-buses. That was good. That was good, Craig. Craig, congratulations. Just think about that. 60% of the ridership back already, and it's only April. That is very good news. Congratulations, and that's a credit to you and all your team. Congratulations. One more point we got to make here before we ride the bus. When we improve mass transit, when we get more people out of their cars, more people into the buses, we're also fighting climate change. If we're going to be green, it means making buses more and more of the solution. So I want you to hear from our Director of the Office of Sustainability, Ben Furness.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. And Chair Rodriguez, it's great to be here. Commissioner Gutman, great to be here. As I've said, we are in a sprint, and we can't afford to take a single year off from acting on climate change. And better buses are key to climate action. More people on buses means fewer cars on the road, and it means lower greenhouse gas emissions. And taking action on climate isn't just about fighting for the future. It's also about improving daily life in the here and now and correcting inequities in the here and now. And a busway for tens of thousands of bus riders in Upper Manhattan is exactly what I'm talking about. A busway means more time with our kids and less time in traffic. It means getting to work or school reliably and on time. It means cleaner air, and it means furthering environmental justice. In the face of the incredible challenges of the last year, DOT managed to make 2020 and in partnership with communities all across the city, the most transformative year on New York City streets in a generation. There were record numbers of new bus lanes and bike lanes, new busways like the one here, and neighborhoods were entirely transformed with open restaurants and open streets. You've really lived up to your name, the Department of Transformation. And I think you're just getting started. All of this is key to acting on climate, and all of this is key to making our recovery a green recovery. Just a few short years ago, there was not a single busway in New York City. Now it's spring, and they're sprouting up all over. And that's thanks to your dedication, Mr. Mayor. It's thanks to the incredible work of DOT, partners at the MTA, and the city and state elected officials, and all the advocates for great transit and livable streets. And I do want to just reiterate a special congratulations to the DOT bus team. I know this was a real labor of love. So thank you all very much.
All right, let's go ride a bus. Okay.
Okay, cameras, come with us. If you don't want to ride, that's fine. We'll pull the coverage. Otherwise, come with me.